Hey, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have something pretty special for us. We have some Comptech exhaust parts that we're going to be restoring like we did with the headers back in last year. So a lot of you ask me where I find these parts. It's really a multitude of different sources. You know, I get on Craigslist, I get on OfferUp, and I get on like Facebook Marketplace, but I also have people out there that are looking for parts for me. Specifically when it comes to Comptech parts, as you know, these are discontinued parts, and so you have to really search hard and long to get some of these parts for your build. So I would recommend, putting out feelers everywhere, make it well known what you're looking for, and eventually somebody will have this part that they're looking to part ways with. So the background story on these exhaust mufflers for the Acura CL Type S is that I found these up in upstate New York from an individual who was basically liquidating everything in their house. As he put it, the wife told me I had to get rid of everything because we are having a third kid. So very interesting there. He really didn't want to send these to me, but I was able to convince him to send them to me. Come to find out, the flanges that attach the exhaust have been chopped off. So I'll have to get new flanges welded onto that. So I'm going to take you through my process. I've gone ahead and done one of these already to basically the degree where I want to take it, except for the flange welding, which I'll do when we go to install these. So I'm going to take you through the restoration process, and then in probably another part or in a later part of this video, we'll go ahead and finish this up and install it on the car. Okay, and so here we have the two mufflers. We have the left side and the right side, as you can see. They're both in pretty good shape when you talk about the exhaust outlets, but when we talk about the actual container themselves, inside and exterior, we have some work to do. So as you can see, if you look just at the face of this one right here, it's all distorted, and if you look at this one, it's pretty much mirror-like. There's a little bit of work that can be done on that, but it's pretty good. So there's some things that will just have to be there because they're so deep, or they're so pitted that they're just not going to come out unless I put in a lot of work, and that's just not worth it. This is not a visual area that anybody would notice, but this is, and this is, and so we definitely want to make sure that those are taken care of. I'm going to do a little bit of work probably right around here just to make sure that we get a nice mirror-like finish here. But other than that, this is pretty much a finished and ready to get welded. You can see the flange is missing on this one, and so is the flange on this one. So unfortunately, this individual thought it was better just to chop it off than to actually go through the effort of detaching them properly. Now this car, as I understand it, was an upstate New York car, so these were in pretty rough shape when I got them. The interior of them is still in pretty rough shape. There's a lot of rust on the inside of these, and I'll kind of take you through what I do to get it to an okay situation, or an okay condition. So the first thing is you have to realize that you're dealing with stainless steel. So I always use a brass brush whenever I'm dealing with anything stainless steel, because the brass is the sacrificial component and the stainless steel will likely survive that. So if we go ahead and pick up on this, you can see that there's a lot of pitting. Maybe the camera's not picking up on that, but there's a lot of pitting that's right through here. And there's not much that we can do about this. This is basically enough degradation that it's not worth trying to grind it all down to a point where it's going to be smooth. One, it's hardly noticeable, but two, it may do more damage than good. But what we can do is we can go ahead and put like the brush in here attached to a drill to go ahead and scrape out all the rust, and we can put an extension on the drill to bring it down and into the barrel of this to get as much of the rust out as we can. Now the tricky part here is that you don't want to put rust in the exhaust, because then it'll just rattle, right? It's metal, and this is a container, and even though it's packed with likely fiberglass or something of a sound deadening nature, it's gonna rattle regardless. So just be cautious that if you're gonna go through this process, stick to maybe just the outside surfaces where you can, dump the rust out once you've actually scraped it out. So what I do is I take the least abrasive material that I can and start with that. So I took a 5,000 grit sandpaper wet, and I'm trying to see what is just underneath the initial layer of dirt and grime. And that's because the deeper scratches that you put into this stainless, the more effort it's going to take to get out. So you want to start with like a wet 5,000, and then if you still got some blemishes in here that you want to take out, then kind of progress to a wet 2,000, and then maybe a wet 1,000, and then your ultimate is a wet 600. I wouldn't go any grittier than 600 wet, because then you're putting in some really significant scratches that you're gonna have a super hard time trying to get out. But usually I start with the 5,000, go up to the 1,000, and I kind of debate whether I want to take anything more out, and because you have to eventually take out that scratch. And when it comes to the end right here, you definitely want to be cautious. This is the most visual part, and I usually stick to nothing higher than a wet 2,000. If I can't get it out with a wet 2,000, then it's staying there, because I'd rather have a nice shine than deep gouges and some shininess around those deep gouges. So that's my word of caution on sanding out scratches or trying to get blemishes out using sandpaper. The other thing that you'll need for this is a drill. I use a corded one just because it gives me enough power, and you could use a cordless one like one of these, but you have to realize that you're going to be doing this for a very long time when you're talking about polishing. So, and that's primarily what you're going to be using this for, is either polishing or with the brass wheel, and so your batteries are going to likely die. So take that into account, is that it's going to take a long time to polish out something like this, and that you either want to use a bench polisher or something like that with a corded attachment. So some other tools that you'll need, I like to use a vapor rust because it's the least likely to cause damage to the material that you're working with, and it really just removes the rust. I use this on the Comptech headers, and I thought it was fantastic. It saved me a lot of expense in bits and grinding time, whereas this basically just safely removes the rust, and then you just do a slightly polish with maybe some wet sandpaper, and basically back to normal. Chrome polish I think is important, so I like this to finish. I like this when I'm buffing. So like when you're absolutely done and you want that nice high gloss on it, use this. If you're working from your sandpapers to a polish, use something like this. It's got a little bit of grit in there, and that helps remove some of the material and gives you a nice high gloss without necessarily having to do this, but I like this as well for the finished product. And this is very interesting, so I'll take you through the process that we do with this. So when you get something that's old like this, you'll see, for example, where does it say Comptech USA on here anyway? We know it's a Comptech muffler because we have the badging right there that says Comptech, but these came from Comptech with wording that said Comptech Sport right across this. And over the years, it has faded and it is essentially all gone. You can barely, and you'll never see it on the camera, but there's a small little clue that it was there once. And after you're done polishing, it'll absolutely not be there. So we'll use this to etch it back in, and which is what I did over here. So you can see now it says Comptech Sport right across that, because we were able to etch using a chemical, which is very simple to use. It's not hard, so don't worry. But you can use, look at that, it's like perfect. It's the way it came out of Comptech, saying exactly this in the same exact size, and placement and everything. It took a long time to get it right, but we'll go through that process as well. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how I go ahead and work on this one, and you can see my process. Okay, so we got our muffler pretty much cleaned up. I use simple green in a container and just kind of squirt it on there. Adjust it as you need for whatever spray application you're using. Like I said, start with a 5,000 wet. So kind of get that wet. I use the simple green to remove any contaminants at the same time. And you can do something like this, applying even pressure. Or you can kind of fold it over, but make sure that you go in one direction. And the reason being is if you have scratches, you want to make sure that you can get them out using one direction of buffing. You don't want to use cross. You don't want to go this way, then this way, then this way. You want to keep it consistent, and then that way your polishing will basically go in sequence, and you won't have these weird scratches going a different way because it's so hard to polish out. We're going with 5,000, and we're just basically cleaning up the barrel, or the main container of the muffler here. And it's basically how much effort do you want to put into this. Now with this, because it's going to be underneath, I don't want to put a lot of time into this. Where I want to spend my time is really rehabbing the face of it. Maybe I'll spend some time on the side of it, just because you'll be able to see a little bit of that. Now what we have here is some rust right in here. And we're going to want to get that out. And how we go ahead and do that is we use the brass wheel is how we go ahead and do this. So we use the brass wheel and we'll come in here at an angle, trying to get just that little bit off. And the reason why we're going to use this is because it uses more abrasive action to get that off. There's no way that you'll get it with polishing. Even the evaporust won't get it to the point where you want it. But you can use the brass wheel to kind of scrape off that layer of rust. And then we'll be able to come in with some polishing and maybe some wet sanding in addition if need be to kind of bring that polish back. So let's go ahead and get started on that too. And now we have our brass brush attached to this. Let's go ahead and position this in a way that we can get into it. And we'll move the camera. Alright, now that we have the brass brush attached to our drill and we have the muffler positioned, we can go ahead and get started on this. Now what we want to try to do is find an angle that will work. To mention at the beginning of the video is that you want to pick up some polishing discs for your drill and some polishing compound. Now there's specific compound for stainless steel. You can get, I believe, 2 different types. I'm using the green just because that's what I had available, but you can go to a store like Harbor Freight and you can pick up these polishing blocks at anywhere. And what you do is you coat it with you coat your polishing disc with the compound, and then you bring it to the metal. our finished product. We have a really nice clean surface. We were able to polish out pretty much every imperfection that I wanted to polish out. It's still not perfect, but it's going to go on a car and it's going to be subjected to road abuse because it's just on the bottom of the car anyway. So I'm not going to spend too much time worrying about this, like I said, but I'm going to focus here. Okay, now that I've got this all polished out to where I want it to be, I'm ready to put back in Comptech Sports right across here. Now, we have to make sure that we place it correctly so that when we go ahead and put this back on, we're going to have to measure where it was on the old one and then apply it here. But since we're using a chemical, we're going to have to cover all of this so that the chemical doesn't run and then etch into any of the metal that we don't want etched.